Hello and welcome. I'm an AI expert with a deep background in modern hotel operations, and I'm really pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. Today, we're diving into the blueprint for what makes a truly exceptional hotel stay. And it's not just about a clean room or a fancy lobby, it's about building something much, much deeper, a guest-centric culture. We're going to break down what that really means and how the very best in the business make it happen.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to walk through 5 key pillars that build this guest-centric world. First, we'll start by seeing things through your guests' eyes, so important. Then we'll look at the values and the leadership that hold it all together. After that, we'll get into empowering the team on the ground, creating systems for them to collaborate seamlessly, and finally, we'll talk about how you make this amazing culture actually last for the long haul.
So first things first, and this is probably the most critical idea we'll cover. It all starts with a huge shift in perspective. We have to stop seeing the hotel as just a collection of different departments and start seeing it the way a guest does, as one single continuous experience.
This quote, right here, it just hits the nail on the head. A guest doesn't think, oh, the check-in was good, but housekeeping was just okay. No, to them, it's all one stay, one feeling, one memory. And getting this is the entire basis for creating a guest-centric mindset. It's the whole game.
So what are we actually trying to build here? Well, it's not a new policy or some thicker rule book. It's a shared mindset. This guest-centric culture is a living, breathing identity where everyone, from the person in housekeeping to the general manager, is absolutely focused on one single goal, making sure the guest feels completely cared for at every single touchpoint.
In this slide, it lays out the core challenge perfectly. You see, internally, we're organized into our little silos: front office, housekeeping, maintenance. But to the guest, all of that is behind the curtain. They only see the final show. Our job, as leaders, is to bridge that gap between our internal structure and their holistic view, and make sure the seams never, ever show.
Okay, so now that we're all hopefully seeing things through the guest's eyes, let's talk about the foundation. You just can't build a lasting culture on processes alone. It has to be built on something stronger, a real bedrock of shared beliefs and solid leadership.
Think about it. Before you write a single procedure or design any training, you first have to define the core beliefs that are going to guide every single action. These values become the internal compass for your team, They help people make the right call, especially when a manager isn't standing right there.
And listen, these are not just pretty words for a poster in the break room. Values like these are actionable. They're real behaviors that every team member, no matter their role, has to live and breathe every day. Empathy means truly trying to understand a guest's feelings. Responsiveness is about acting on their needs, fast. These are the practical ways your culture comes to life.
And this is absolutely crucial. This kind of culture has to start at the very top. Your team simply will not believe the values are important if they don't see you living them. When leaders model patience, when they listen, when they treat their own staff with respect, they are literally teaching the team exactly how guests should be treated. Culture is taught by example, not by memos.
All right, so we've got our foundation poured. Now we need to talk about the people who are actually going to bring this culture to life every single day, your team members. A philosophy is totally powerless without people who are equipped and, just as importantly, motivated to execute it.
Now, of course, training has to cover the operational skills. That's a given. But to build a truly guest-centric team, you've got to go so much deeper. Training has to develop emotional intelligence. That's the ability to interpret guest cues, to see a need before it's even spoken, and to communicate with genuine warmth and real empathy.
And remember this simple human truth. When people feel valued and appreciated, they deliver exceptional, heartfelt service. It's that simple. Recognition doesn't have to be some complex, expensive program. A genuine thank you, highlighting positive guest feedback in a meeting, these things reinforce the very behaviors you want to see more of. Now, what's so interesting about this slide is how it frames empowerment. You see, empowerment isn't something you can just declare. You can't just flip a switch and say, okay, you're empowered. It's the end result of a deliberate process. You give people excellent training, you consistently recognize their great work, and that builds the trust you need to finally give them the authority to act on their own to solve guest problems. Okay, let's get into the nuts and bolts. You can have a great philosophy and amazing people, but they absolutely need the right tools and systems to work together as one cohesive unit. This is the operational backbone that makes it all possible.
A hotel can only act like one team if its departments can actually communicate and collaborate effectively. Think about it. Housekeeping schedule directly impacts the front desk. Maintenance response time affects guest satisfaction. F&B creates lasting memories. When these teams are in sync, the guest experience feels effortless. But when they're not, the guest feels that friction. This table shows exactly what I mean in the real world. Just look at how a simple, effective flow of information can turn a potential problem into a moment of fantastic service. When the front desk can instantly log a maintenance issue and see that it's been fixed, the guest feels heard. When teams share key information, like an allergy, they can provide proactive, personalized, and safe service. It's a game changer.
So you've done all this hard work. You've built this amazing culture. The job's done, right? Well, not exactly. Building it is a huge achievement, for sure, but the real test of leadership is sustaining it for the long term, and that takes a continuous, evolving commitment from everyone.
And that brings me to a question I want you, as future leaders, to really think about. It's easy to be a great team when everything's going smoothly, but what happens when things go wrong? A team's response to an unexpected challenge, an overbooking, a power outage, you name it, that is what reveals the true strength of its culture.
And here's the crucial point. Problems are going to happen. No hotel is perfect. Mistakes will be made. But how your team handles them as a unified front is what defines the guest experience. A well-handled problem, where a guest sees everyone working together to make it right, can actually build more trust than if nothing had gone wrong in the first place.
So this is not a one-and-done kind of thing. Sustaining excellence is a living process. It's like gardening. You always have to be tending to it. It means creating feedback loops where you're actively listening to guests, sharing what you learn with the whole team, celebrating your wins, and constantly sharpening your skills through ongoing training and open conversations.
This quote, it really brings it all home. This is the ultimate goal. When the culture is really strong, a front desk agent knows they're not just checking people in, they're setting the tone for the entire stay. A housekeeper understands they're a guardian of the guest comfort. Everyone gets how their individual piece fits into the larger mission of the guest experience.
And this, right here, this is the final transformation. It's about moving from being just a collection of people with separate jobs to becoming a single, coordinated hospitality environment. When that happens, guests feel genuinely and consistently cared for. And that feeling, that is the foundation of a powerful reputation and lasting loyalty. That's the difference between a place to stay and a place you absolutely cannot wait to come back to.